You know, on every single Windows PC out there, there's this hidden tool. It's one of the most powerful, most misunderstood, and, believe it or not, one of the oldest pieces of software you own. And its story? Well, it goes all the way back to the very beginning of personal computing.
Oh yeah, you've totally seen this before, right? The intimidating black box with that little blinking cursor. Maybe you opened it by accident, panicked, and just slammed it shut. But what is this thing really for? Let's solve that mystery, shall we? And look, this isn't some dusty old relic we're talking about. The command prompt, or cmd.exe as it's officially known, is a vital piece of your computer with a pretty fascinating history, and it's still incredibly relevant today. Okay, let's dive right in. So to really get what the command prompt is all about, we've got to jump in the time machine. We're going way back to a time before Windows, before you could even use a mouse, back when the only way to talk to a computer was to type.
I mean, just look at how fast this all happened. In the 70s, you had this OS called CP/M that kind of set the standard. But then, in 1980, this new thing pops up, literally nicknamed the quick and dirty operating system. Just 1 year later, Microsoft snags it, rebrands it as the legendary MS-DOS, and the way you used it was through a little program called command.com. But technology was moving at lightning speed, and that simple shell just wasn't going to be enough for what was coming next.
See, when Microsoft started building its super robust, professional-grade platform, Windows NT, the new technology platform, they knew that old 16-bit command.com just couldn't cut it. No way. They needed a complete overhaul, a true successor built for the modern age.
And wow, what a leap forward it was. This wasn't just some minor update. cmd.exe was a total rewrite from the ground up. It was a proper 32-bit application that ran directly on the super stable new NT kernel, and it added features that were absolute game changers, things we totally take for granted now, like just hitting the up arrow to see your last command, or hitting tab to automatically complete a file name. It was just smarter, way more stable, and a heck of a lot more powerful.
All right, so we've got the history down. But what does the command prompt, actually do? How does it take the stuff you type and make the computer do something?
The most important thing to get is that it's not the operating system itself. It's what we call a command line interpreter, or CLI. The best way to think of it is as a translator. It's the middleman. You type a command in plain English, and the CLI translates that into a set of instructions that the very core of Windows, the kernel, can understand and act on.
Okay, so let's walk through this. You type a command, right? cmd.exe immediately looks at it and makes a decision. If it's something super basic like dir to list files, it just handles it right then and there. That's an internal command. But if you type something more specialized like ipconfig to check your network, cmd.exe acts more like a dispatcher. It goes out, finds a totally separate program called ipconfig.exe, and tells it to run. It's a really, really efficient system.
So this brings us to the million-dollar question. I mean, we have beautiful graphical interfaces, we have search bars, we even have a newer, way more advanced command line tool from Microsoft itself. So why on earth is this program from 1993 still included in every single copy of Windows 11?
Exactly. Microsoft built PowerShell, which is this incredibly capable tool for system administrators. So why not just get rid of the old command prompt? It seems obvious, doesn't it? Well, the answer is way simpler and, frankly, more important than you might think.
The answer is millions. Millions of what, you ask? Millions of old-school batch scripts. You know, those little .bat and .cmd files that thousands of businesses all over the planet still rely on every single day to automate really, really important tasks. To put it bluntly, getting rid of cmd.exe would instantly break decades of automation that countless companies depend on to function. This isn't about nostalgia. It's about backward compatibility. It's a foundational promise that keeps the digital machinery of the modern world from grinding to a halt. And hey, don't for a second think this is just for big corporations. cmd.exe is still an amazing toolbox for any regular user. You can use ping to check if a website is down or if it's just you. You can run sfc/scan now to find and fix corrupted Windows files, or check disk to check on the health of your hard drive. And here's a fun little pro tip. Typing shutdown/s/t0 is still the absolute fastest way to shut down your PC. No contest. You know, the spirit of the command line is actually stronger than ever. cmd.exe really paved the way for modern powerhouses like PowerShell and the new Windows Terminal, which is awesome, by the way. It can host all these different command lines, including good old cmd.exe, all in one nice tabbed window. The evolution is still going. So, here's where we land. In a world full of slick graphics, AI assistants, and touchscreens, it's easy to think that typing out a command is a thing of the past. But ask yourself this. When you need precise, powerful, direct control over your computer, is there anything better? Maybe, just maybe, the written command isn't a relic of the past, but a hint at the future of how we'll always interact with our most powerful technology.